I'm like, what? So I've gone from trying to set up the salon to getting on the plane, going back to say goodbye to my father, who did end up dying, and then coming back here to see the salon. The day I was leaving to go to see my dad, I went to Starbucks to get a coffee, and I gave him my card. So I was been denied. Fraud, obviously. And I gave him the card, and it's denied. And I was like, eh. So I called the bank, and I thought, holy shit, I have completely spent all of my money on that building. Thank God it turned out, I will say that.
Yeah.
But we're open for 5 weeks, and then we got shut down because of COVID. And we're like,
Perfect timing.
perfect timing. And I'm thinking, but I came to peace with it. I thought, you know what? Whatever this universe, God, plan has, this is my journey. I don't know why I'm here, but here I am.
Hey there, design enthusiast. Welcome to Inside the Design Studio, the podcast where we unravel threads of life and design. I'm your host, David Peck, your guide through the cosmic wonders, the tangible touches, and the delightful twists of creating a life you absolutely love. Today's episode is a special peek into my eclectic toolbox, the secret weapons I use to design a life that's as vibrant as my creations. So grab your metaphorical sketchpad and let's dive into the art of intentional living.
Well, thank you everybody for coming. So in case you don't know, and you don't know why you're here because just David invited you. I don't know. I have a podcast called Inside the Design Studio, and it was inspired by Inside the Actor Studio with James Lipton. Is anybody familiar? Bravo days, all that good stuff. Did you ever watch it?
No.
No, of course. Okay. You were in Australia. Yeah, that's going to be the answer. You were in Australia. So he would interview actors and they would talk about their process and everything. And then at the very end, he would ask them like a Proust questionnaire about like a rapid fire 22 questions. Well, I don't know how many questions he had, but I have 22.
Good grief.
Yeah, because I'm feeling 22. Big Swifties over here. Anyway, and we're not going to talk about the new album. We're just, well, I mean, it might creep into the conversation, but it's really about you. And I told David this is either going to be the easiest interview I've ever done or the hardest because I know you so well. So a little backstory, you usually do a bio, like a professional bio of the person. And it's not that you don't deserve. He's not a real professional, people. That's why we're here today. It's an intervention. David, this is
into it.
Yeah, this is actually a whole ruse. We're all here because we care about you.
Give my drinking amount.
So actually, I didn't prepare on purpose a bio because I want people to hear your story because I think it's fascinating. But also I want to talk about like how we met because I actually think we saw each other about 18 years ago, but we met officially 15 years ago on the set of a photo shoot for the Houston Chronicle. It was a very last minute thing. I had met the editor of the lifestyle section at that time, Molly Glinsner, at a PR day for Fashion Houston, which was a runway show that we were doing. And she's like, we're doing a photo shoot for this magazine we have called Gloss, and we really want a dress that matches wallpaper. And we haven't figured out how to do it. And I was like, well, I could do that. I was like, when's the photo shoot? She's like, day after tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we met up the next morning and we went to what no longer exists, High Fashion Home, and we bought fabric. Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, you were. He was checked out. Hence the intervention.
No, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. So we went there, we got the fabric, made the dress in a day, and the next day went to the photo shoot. And David was hired to do the hair. And we were talking, and I was like, it's so strange. I was like, 3 years ago when I got married, Michelle said, I met this Australian guy named David, and I think you guys would be really good friends, but it's too bad we're moving to New York. And I was like, oh, that's so nice. And I didn't even think. And then we were talking, I was like, wait a minute, were you because you had your salon at that point, you had open therapy. I was like, did you work at this place called Tova? You're like, yes. And come to find out, very long story short, you had done Michelle's hair for our wedding and her mother had come to their house, like had this whole connection. And so we met on this photo shoot and have been friends ever since. We've literally traveled the world. We've been to Paris several times together. We met Chopin on the way there. So we had kids. Yeah. So we've had kids at the same time. It's like we planned it.
All the same age.
All the same age. So we've kind of like experienced life together in very many ways. But I think what's interesting about today is I want people to find out, why are you actually here? Yeah. The meaning of life, the existential question. How did you make it to Houston, and like all of that? So we're gonna go rewind. I know takes a long time. Be kind, please rewind back to your very beginning. The dark ages. So when the earth was cooling. Yeah. Take us back that far. Not many people remember that. So you were born in Australia.
Yeah.
But you weren't you grew up in Brisbane, but not like you weren't born in Brisbane.
No, I was born in a small country town.
You seem very country to me. That's why I asked. I wanted people to get that.
Wodonga.
Aubrey Wodonga.
So-
Sounds like a that's what she said joke.
Yeah, it sounds like you need antibiotics for it. But that's where I was born. And then my parents left. They went to Brisbane.
Did they leave you there? No.
They left me in a manger.
See, that's why I really wanted him on the podcast. The origin story. Yeah. Cool. So you moved to?
Went to Brisbane, stayed in Brisbane, never wanted to be a hairdresser, never entered my mind.
Yeah. What did you want? Because I know you like studied Mandarin, architecture.
Chinese for a while. Because when I was, but that's a little bit further down.
Okay, I skipped a bit.
So I did, finish high school course. Then I was going to go.
So this was like the Paleolithic
This,
area.
no, a little bit even before that.
Oh,
A little bit of ice.
Okay, cool. Like end of the Ice Age.
Into the ice age.
Gotcha.
Started doing architecture and interior technology.
Okay.
I wanted to be an architect. And that's when they were bringing in CAD, that computer animated drawing
Yeah.
stuff. And I would rather shoot myself than do that.
Yeah, that does not seem very.
I like playing Pac-Man, and that's about it. But I wanted to draw and do all that stuff, and it all ended. And I didn't want to do that. And so my hairdresser, Alia, who I'm still friends with now, she's still alive.
Amazing.
Amazing. I know.
What do they feed these people in Australia?
Damn.
They really should study them.
Now, can you actually draw that? It's a little bit slight coming out. Ali's never aged. I don't know what the hell she's on, but we all need to get some. But anyhow, she did my hair in high school, and I would let her do whatever she wanted. And she wanted to be said, do you want to be in a hair show? I was like, sure. I said, you can't do anything crazy because I'm going to a private school and I have to follow the rule. My hair can't be too light, it can't be this. And she said, okay. And the color room didn't have any mirrors in it. So once she's finished, and show it was, I had a twin blue mohawk and my hairline was shaved back. They were deliberately off center. So it was like a coral reef.
I'm glad she didn't do anything crazy.
I didn't do anything crazy.
Yeah.
And I said, oh. And that was in the 80s. And a lot of the hairdressers were drunk and passed out who were supposed to be doing this hair show that I was going to be in.
Yeah.
And I was like, Ellie was freaking out. And I was like, I can not. I'll do some stuff. So I started doing this hair on people. And everyone thought it was great. And then her boss offered me a job.
So it just came naturally.
It did. Although in high school, I would cut people's hair in behind the basketball court. Where they're smoking, cutting hair.
You just do it.
I'll just do it. There was a girl called Lisa. I can't remember her last name, but she wanted this bob. And I was like, I reckon I can do that. It can't be that hard. So I kept cutting it and cutting it and cutting and cutting. Her hair was here. And by the time I'd finished, it was here. It was like, and I couldn't quite get the back right. So I kept cutting it so there was nothing left.
So you hadn't studied Vidal Sassoon at that point.
No. I thought it was incredible. It was this weird shape. And then she got suspended for 3 months.
Oh, you're that friend.
And then she wore a hat to school.
We have that in common. So have I ever told you? So I used to do really good perms. Like in the 80s.
That's your grandmother's.
Yeah, I permed my grandmother's hair. So,
My grandmother's hair too.
yes. Yeah.
And I was legit about doing it.
What do you mean? Oh,
I was a
you were, yeah.
I know.
I was not 12. Yeah. No, it was, I don't remember why I started doing it. I think she didn't like what her hairdresser did. And she's like, I bet David could do it. And so I was like, sure. I mean, I never met instructions that I couldn't follow. So I like did it and I gave her a perm and she liked it. And she's like, this is the best perm I've ever had. And the rest is history. So every time we'd go visit, I would give her a perm and I started giving my cousins perms. I gave everyone perms. And then actually in college, I used to cut people with curly hair because they couldn't find people to cut their hair. And I had no idea what I was doing. I just did it. So we have that in common. I just didn't become a hairdresser. Yes, butchering people's hair is what we have in common. Yeah, is that what you still do? But you don't. It takes a very special client to get there. Okay, so you're in Brisbane. You somehow get this job because you just have a really, I mean, you obviously do have a knack for hair, but like,
And the funny thing is, I thought my parents were horrified, and I was like,
because you dropped out of school.
yeah, but to do this. No, I finished high school.
Oh yeah, no,
I
but it's college.
So I'm going to college to do it, and then I said, I don't do this anymore. I'm gonna work at Fatty's hair studio and work with Elliot, and I thought I'll do it for 3 years.
Yeah.
The apprenticeship in Australia is 4 years. It's hardcore. Like you work in the salon, they test you. You got to do. It's unlike here. Here you could go to beauty school for 3 hours and come out a hairdresser. Literally.
I didn't even do that.
You go up on the street. Don't believe me. Look at the hair on the street. But they're very. Well, I think they've loosened up a bit now. But it was very like you had to work X number of hours and do these tests. You had to understand how to communication and all these tests you had.
There's a proper trade.
It's a proper trade. Yeah, it's a trade industry. But then, if you wanted to carry on and do a university degree afterwards, some of the units you've done would be accredited to university degrees.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was cool.
I don't think we have that.
And psychology, we had to do all of it.
Oh.
You're going to meet a few crazies along the way.
Really? Tell me about that. That's a whole podcast on its own. No, I always joke with people that I have a degree. I should have like a doctorate or a double something in psychology because like that's really all we do.
That's why I call myself therapy. But
Yeah. We'll get there.
But the funny thing was, I only did it I started doing it in 4 years, and I'm out. I'm going to go back into architecture or something else.
Yeah.
It's fun. But I can't make a career out of this. This is just like not. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
So my boss invited me to go to the International Hairdressing Society competition and awards. And I said, I guess, come on, with me, it'll be fun. So I'm sitting there with him, and everyone's up on the stage, and they're going, David Bamford, and I'm like, yes, I've entered you in all the competitions. He goes, yeah, quick, you got to get up on there. I'm like, I've got no one. Because I've got your model, I've got your equipment. If I told you to do it, you wouldn't do it.
You had a good boss.
So I had to get up there. I was like, 3 pounds, like shaking, freaked out, thinking, I'm not equipped for this.
Yeah.
And then I sat down, like hyperventilating. Then they called me up again for another competition. I think someone entering. And 3, it turned out. So it was all done. I started drinking heavily because I was young and stupid and very uncomfortable with the situation. And then they called. It was the end of the night. They were calling the people who won. And they called the third. I thought maybe I'll get runner-up because I thought my work was okay. And didn't get runner-up. I thought, yeah, I'm going to leave. And he said, no, sit down. Then they called third, second, and first, and it was me. And I'm like, what? I won. So I won best haircut, International Hairdressing Society women's progressive haircut. I won it. And I was like, did you pay them to do this?
He wanted, more notoriety for the salon.
Make him win. And I thought that had happened, but it didn't. And then the next thing was some wedding thing. I didn't win that. I was happy with that. And then it was a men's haircut. I was so concentrated on my scissor over time to be perfect. I ran out of time and I didn't finish the haircut. And I was like, oh, fun. So pulled it all back, cut it, pulled it back down, so I cut it again, and just styled it. And I won.
Of course you did.
Like they thought it was so such an amazing shape. And I'm like, so I won it too. And then it was like in the newspaper and stuff that
you were kind of a big deal.
Someone from nowhere won these 2 awards. And I thought, maybe I should do it.
Well, how many years into your whole training was this?
It was my 4th year. So it was the year I was not going to do it anymore.
So that's the thing that kind of kept.
Well, I'll keep doing it.
I might be good at this.
I might be good at it.
Now, were your parents at that point? Because I know you have a really great relationship with your parents.
Once, 3 months afterwards, and there's so much fun I was having, and I was happy and stuff, and I worked 5 days a week, from 8:30 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night. No lunch break. It was like perming and all this crazy shit. And that's all we ever did.
Yeah.
And so, which is a big change to today. How much lunchtime do I have? When's my vacation?
But you never take a lunch.
For 5 years.
But you're now you're on your feet the whole day.
I still don't eat.
Yeah.
Because you don't have time. You know what I mean? Like, so you don't, when you're a hairdresser, you don't have a designated time.
Yeah.
It's like a wave. You kind of
Yeah.
with it, then it ends. You're like, when are you home, man?
Yeah. So did you stay with that salon the entire time you were there, or what?
I finished that. Then I went and worked for a little bit in London, real little bit.
What took you to London? What took you to London?
No, my friends tell me it wasn't that old.
They had invented them by then? Yeah.
I got scurvy on the way.
Yeah. There's a pirate ship, actually.
So I went to London for a little while with some friends, and it was so expensive. And to live in London then,
Yeah.
it was like 10 people in a house. I'm like, none of
That doesn't sound very you.
it's not me. So then we went to Scotland to visit her friend Lisa, whose parents apparently were wealthy and had a big house, we could stay there. And she undersold that story. And we're like, yes. And then at that time, £1 was almost equivalent to $3 because the Australian dollar had tanked and the pound had gone through the roof. And I was like, wait, hang on a minute. I can work the same amount of hours and have triple the money. I was like, I'm staying here. So I stayed there
In Scotland.
in Aberdeen for months. I think maybe almost a year, 9 months to a year. I think I stayed there.
Time was just kind of.
Well, I didn't. That's just how I roll.
Yeah.
I just go somewhere and stay until the time's up. Then I go somewhere else. I
So after Aberdeen, where did you go?
went back home. Oh, did I go to Australia after? Oh, yeah. No. From Aberdeen, I saved enough money up that I went through Europe traveling for about 7 months.
Okay.
And the idea was to backpack. And so we went to Germany first. I walked into a backpacking store. Oh, God.
Yeah.
No.
That's about what I thought when I entered a hostel for the first time.
Where's my bathroom? And I'm like, the middle one. I'm like, I'm out. And so I was like, what am I going to do? And I said to my friend, you can stay. I'm out of here. So I went across the road and there was a nice hotel in there. And my parents gave me like an American Express as emergency money.
That sounds like an emergency to me.
And there's all these bunks. There's like 8 people in a room.
No.
And so I go there at 2:00 in the morning, the phone rings. I'm like, is it down? Who's calling? It was my mother. She found me because she knew I wouldn't last one night at that.
In a hostel.
And I looked on the map. This is pre-computer, keep in mind. So her travel agent said, well, there's a couple of hotels like near that. And she goes, what's the closest one? And it was where I was. So
And she found you. It wasn't like she got an alert on her phone from Amex saying, hey, your son is like, no
alert sense.
Yeah. We're in the Gilded Age at this point.
But I thought, oh gosh, she really does know me. So, but then we just stayed at really cheap hotels instead.
Yeah.
We did it in ways.
No.
A long time.
Yeah.
Back to Australia.
I had a friend who was backpacking through Europe and she's like, oh, come to, long story, but I was supposed to take her violin from Paris to Rome. And she's like, I'll pay for your flight and hotel if you'll bring me my violin. I got there. She hadn't booked a hotel or anything. And I was like, well, where are we staying? She's like, I just thought we'd find a hostel. I was like, you thought what? And I was like, no. So I booked a hotel. And then she was like, oh, well, why don't we try one night in the hostel? And I did 1 night in the hostel. I was like, absolutely not. We are done. I'm like, I don't have any money, but I'm not staying here.
That's my thing. I don't have any money either.
Yeah.
I have no money, but I'm not going to stay.
No, I'm like, this is not my thing. This is not how I travel. No, thank you. I'm good. So I moved on from that. Okay, so you traveled through Europe and then you went back to Australia.
Went back to Australia, worked at another salon in Dockside, which is a beautiful salon. Dockside's where all the boats and that would come in. And so we had a more international kind of like clientele. And I stayed there for years. And then I worked for Schwarzkopf after that for a little while. And from Schwarzkopf, I met some people from America who invited me to come over to Houston.
Well, but before that, had you worked for Kevin Murphy at that point or not yet?
Kevin Murphy wasn't even a thing there. Right at that point, he was a part of a new company called Cusco Murphy.
Okay.
So it's him and a
Cusco.
She and him had a company together.
Okay.
They had like 3 products. It was really little.
Yeah. Okay. So Schwarzkopf, and they knew people who worked in Houston.
No. The people who own, Visible Changes, John McCormick.
Yeah.
Okay. He was there. And he just made that book about all these hairdressers making, $750,000 a year. And you're like, well, maybe I'm exaggerating, but a lot more.
You never do. So.
Never exaggerate. It was like a professional approach to hairdressing, not like a hobby. It's like you can make a career out of it. And I thought I was making a career out of it anyhow.
Yeah.
It's reading that book and seeing him. I thought, oh. So then
I want more.
I want more. So then they invited me to come over for a little while. So I did. And it was like, he was lovely in that. But I was like, this isn't really my
Thing.
vibe.
No.
It's very successful. They've done a great job. No, it's just, it was, no.
Yeah.
It was like mass. It was like,
Yeah.
next. And I was like, no, we don't work like that. I want to take my time with someone and,
Yeah.
stuff out. I was like, fine, I'm going to leave. And then I met Ed. And also, too, at this point, too, the Australian dollar was a little bit stronger. And so I had some money to burn. And so I went to Saks and shopped because I was young and stupid again. Because in Australia,
It's a good thing you don't do that anymore. No.
But in Australia, there was, I think it was a 30 or 40% luxury import tax. So here, everything was at 40% off.
Right.
So I was like, yes. I just shopped and shopped.
So it's like reverse tariffs.
It was reversed.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it was. And I thought, why do they know me? Why are they so nice to me? Why would they I would in the shop and be like, oh, here's a lactose-free latte?
So it's a good thing you didn't shop very much.
No, we didn't have,
Yeah.
they should have put the word sucker on top of it. Because you'd be like, that looks so good. And you go, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, yes. I thought, I'll be here for a short time. I don't care. But I'm still here. Like,
Yeah.
5 years later.
Yeah.
And so Ed Bodie, who was the manager at the time of Saks,
Yeah.
was friendly with me because I was there every freaking day.
He should be. Yeah.
And then he introduced me to Jose Eber.
Oh, yes.
And that's how I started working with Jose Eber,
Yeah.
which is funny because I didn't really know who it was.
Yeah. You're like, what?
I should have been impressed.
You're like, what? Yeah. Kind of a big deal. Yeah.
So,
So when you met Jose, then did you think like, oh, I'll just stay in Houston for a little bit and like go for it? Like what was like?
but I did some TV in Australia. I did some film stuff in Australia. And so for me, because I was in the process of thinking, well, if I'm going to stay a little bit longer, I need to get a green card. So I can't legally work here. I need to get a green card.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that in a minute. The green card.
Yeah. I love your green card story. So we'll get there.
Outrageous. But so I had to line up a job first. Then I had to get them to get all the paperwork done. And then I had to apply for my green card. So the interesting thing back then was everything was in Spanish because apparently only people from Mexico immigrate to America.
Well,
And I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. And the girl didn't speak any English. And so I finally got someone who spoke English with me. We figured out what I needed to do. And then I went to this, I had to get all my vaccines I had as a child again, every one of them. Like in Australia, where the earth cooled, there was not really a shot record. You just got your vaccines. It wasn't a question. It wasn't a choice. You just did it. We all lined up, fill whose wallets were bigger, called it a day. No one cared. It was fine.
Yeah.
And so I did all of them again, which made me violently ill. I think nothing can kill me at this point.
You're good.
But
Your COVID stories are,
and then they said, you're going to come in for your final exam, your final test. And I'm thinking, my God, it's in bad American history. I don't know what's happening.
It was bad.
And he said, we're going to give you your exam. I said, okay. So I'm sitting there. And he goes, you're going to have to take clothes off.
You're like, I usually get dinner first.
Yeah. Have your mother's maiden name the last 4 years social before we got this far, but okay. And I thought, is he going to get a blood test or something? I'm like, it's happening right now. No. He had to check me. Visible signs of me having an STD. And I was like,
well, good thing you were too busy. Yeah, too busy shopping to
about what I'm going to purchase next. And I'm sitting in this room naked with some weird man checking me out, thinking, this is not how I thought my day would go. And when I said to him, did Nicole Kidman have to do this? He didn't know who Nicole Kidman was.
Oh.
Thinking, I'm definitely at the wrong place.
It's kind of like when you were at the you best. Yeah.
I'm fine.
You were fine. It's kind of like when you're at the hostel, you just knew you were in the wrong place.
I was at the wrong place. I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? Why is it? What's this got to do with me getting a green card?
Apparently everything.
These other people I've asked, no one else has had to do it. Up by some man and shot up with all these drugs.
So, you were young and You had just thought it was the end of the ice age.
And I had to take a week off work because I was so sick from this freaking vaccine. As your baby, you get them over 5 years. I think I get them over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think my body can take anymore.
Yeah.
I get this is typhoid and blah, 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 blah. 4 months. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's how we like to treat welcome. We welcome
That
you.
was my welcome party.
Yeah.
Get naked when they shoot you up.
Well, now we just shoot you.
Turns out. Less painful than the crap. So, and then they make you naked, and they're on their hands and knees checking you. I'm thinking,
It was the Gilded Age.
I hope they've changed the protocol.
Like I said, now they just shoot you.
It's just coming in for illegally because they're not going to go through that crap.
All right, so you were working for Jose Eber. How long did that last? I did tell people this was going to be unhinged. I didn't know it happened this early. Anyway, so how long did you work for Jose?
Only 2 years.
Only 2 years. Okay.
When he sold out, then he got purchased by the company who owned Shiseido. So then my green card was now going to have to get transferred to another company,
Okay.
which is a whole other ordeal. I'm not going to the
Like been there, done that.
No,
Yeah.
no, didn't get a meal out of it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. So what happened?
Well, then,
Oh, but wait. In the green card, we're skipping ahead. So in the process of getting the green card, didn't you have to get some recommendations?
I had to get celebrity endorsements, which I think was odd.
I think people are just like, let's see what we can get him to do.
There's a short route and this long, mystery journey. That's where I naturally fit to be on.
Yeah. Yeah. You took the scenic route. Just tell the kind people who you got to write your endorsements.
The biggest one I got was Farrah Fawcett.
You know.
Jose did her hair. I'd met her once before. We got a flight back together. We're crossing each other. I kept staring at her like a freak from Los Angeles to Houston. She knew me from Jose. We shared a mutual friend, it turned out. And then he called. I said, how the hell am I going to get celebrity endorsement like by Monday? And it was like Tuesday. And he was like, you met Farrah, right? I said, yeah. And he goes, well, I'll call her. And he called her and with me in his office, and she's in a bubble bath. It's perfect for her.
Yeah.
Giggling away, and she was happy to do it. And she wrote me a letter, invited me to her house and all this stuff, which was lovely. She was very sweet. And I had to submit it. And then I also needed to have an international award. And I'm like, I haven't won an international award.
Wait, your hair.
That's the International Hairdressing Society. They wanted a really recent international award. And I was like, I haven't won an international award. And then 2 days later, I won Best Hair for a Rock Video at WorldFest. So I thought, oh, I do have one. So then I got that.
Yeah, what video?
It was a John Evans band. It was a rockabilly band. I don't know what happened to them. But I like big hair, big crazy hair.
You like big hair and you cannot lie.
Overextended, ridiculous, weed out pompadours and stuff. So that one. So I thought, that's good. And I did some other ridiculous thing too that I found too. Oh, I got somehow or other, I don't know how this happened. I got invited to go to the inauguration of George Bush. And somehow there's a photograph. He was president at the time. So there's a picture of him, me, and his wife. And I thought, but that doesn't get me a green card. And I got it.
You got it.
Yeah. So that was a good thing.
Well done, you. Cool. So after 2 years, Jose is old news after he gets you a green card. What happens?
I just went to another salon because I was going back to Australia. And then another salon was like, I would pick up your green card and pay for it for you. It was Toba.
Yeah.
So then I went there and they were very nice to me. But then I thought, well, if I'm already here and I'm a little bit, I know it sounds like a little bit of a trophy. I've
never noticed that. So tell me.
Things weren't kind of how I would want them.
Yeah.
I didn't like the music. I didn't like, there's just things I knew could be better. And so that's when we decided to do our own salt.
So at that point, you were with Lewis.
Yeah.
And well, you're still business partners with Lewis. We'll get through all that later. Once we get to the Art Deco period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once we
There's a basic period.
yeah. Well, that would be yes. So were you together deciding to do this business, or like what was it? Was it your idea? Like how did the idea of like let's do this on our own start?
Talking one day, and I was like, this person drives me nuts. This person it was a really well run business, but there was so many unprofessional people working in there. And I was like, I want to fire that one. I want to fire that one. That one's going to go. You can't wear a meter to work. Cover your armpits up. No one's to see your belly button. Put some shoes on. Crocs aren't really shoes. Like, it was that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I thought,
You wanted to curate a luxury experience.
and it's not luxury. I mean, that place was beautiful, but the people inside of it didn't know what luxury was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can you give a luxury experience to someone in Crocs and a t-shirt?
See, and that's why I've never worked for you.
Right? It was pre-Crocs. It was something uglier than that.
Yeah. Well, it was the early 2000s. There was not a lot of good Yeah. The platform flip-flops.
Like where your big toe was, like a fake gem.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Yeah. The flowers were the best.
Bang, trim, and tinea. I'm like, no one wants to.
So this was about, so I met you, or I was in Tova because we got married in 2007. So you were still there in 2007. What year did you start therapy?
Mate.
8. So it was the next year.
Yeah. Now we were going to do it, but we didn't know we did that quickly because we all got fired. Because because we said to our boss, they said, we would like to buy your business.
Yeah.
And we'll do like a 5-year buyback, where everyone stays in it is. And
Yeah.
It's like, and I thought that'd be a good thing because they were ready to sort of leave and go to Florida, and we wanted a business that was already established, and
yeah,
we tried to buy it off them, and then he was like, no, we're not selling. And he goes, what would you do if you bought it? And I listed 80% of the stuff I'd get rid of, and the music would.
So you had a plan.
I had a plan. I was like, and he was like, no, we're not doing that. And I'm like, because wish you the best of luck. I'm like, okay. And that was Friday. On Monday, I got fired. I was like, now I really need to get a job because I'm totally going to get kicked out of this country.
Yeah.
I'm unemployed, but I still had like a few weeks before my green card would sort of get null and void. And I think within 2 weeks, Victoria, who was like,
who's still with you,
friends, she, Lewis, and myself were like, okay, let's do this. And so under pressure, found a location, spoke to the vendors, got it done. Catherine Badger, who's a fantastic interior decorator, one of our clients and friends, and she's had a huge spread in Architectural Digest, and she's got no time. She's like, give that person. I said, Catherine, we'll get an area, bought a salon, we're renting a salon from someone, bought it off them so they would go.
Yeah.
Because they picked the location, but they didn't want to leave. We're like, we're going to give you money to get a boot. Go.
Yeah, because we got to get this thing started.
We're going to get this puppy started. So she walks in, she goes, we got 5 minutes. Black floors, white walls, blah, 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 writing it all down. And then she took off, and that's how we laid up the salon. And I think 9 days later, we opened.
Wow. So were you able to, one, take your clients from Tova, and then two...
They find you. They kind of...
No, yeah. So they did, your clients found you. And then also, were the people who were this other salon, did that you get those clients or no?
No, then again, they weren't our clients. Because what we did was, once we got fired, I had that time off, unemployment time, I guess. There was a restaurant next to the salon. So I sat there doing the paperwork for trying to get all these lease agreements and stuff. And I looked at any hair coming out of the salon. I looked at if any of the hair was good, I'd ask who did it.
Right.
And keep that person. And none of it was good.
Yeah. So they're like, it wasn't worth keeping.
Yeah, we kept the assistant though, Tristan, because he was cute and he was sweet and he was hardworking. So he stayed, but everyone else left.
Yeah. So that's how you started.
That's how we started. And we started like a meteor hitting. It's just like a bang, we set to start.
Yeah.
We didn't have time to overthink it. We said to get it going. And then we were busy. We were like, end of the first week, we're already booked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is actually better than I thought it was going to be. And so we just got busier and busier. Then we outgrew the space.
Yeah.
Ripped out every wall we could and used every micro.
I know. You guys, it literally was like the Apple store. It was not far from here on Sage. And like you would walk in and there was so many people.
It was a beehive.
It was a beehive. And it was like, there was so much good energy in that salon because everyone wanted to be there. And it was like,
it was fun.
It was fun. It was, you had the best people and like you did great hair.
Yeah, but thank you. But everyone, it was like working with your friends and never really felt like work.
Yeah.
You're just hanging out doing pretty hair and everyone went feeling prettier.
Yeah. I feel pretty. Yeah. So that was 2008. So it's been a minute. Yeah. We were sort of in like past World War II at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you had gotten to it because I know that you guys were looking to figure out how to expand and you couldn't expand in your current location. They were sort of like tapped out in terms of space.
Our landlord where we were was terrible. Like the roof caved in, we had to pay for it ourselves. A wall collapsed, had to pay for it ourselves. The air conditioning broke, had to pay for it ourselves. I'm thinking, what? We found there was a man living in the roof.
Yeah.
Because that's normal.
It is really. You could have dealt with that.
Okay, fine, we worked with this person, but there was a person with a television and a refrigerator living above our building, and we had no idea.
Yeah. You should have seen if he did good hair.
Probably did. Actually.
I wonder if his TV was connected to your like security footage. So you guys, because I know it was like a big thing. You were looking to expand. Was that at one point? Because so where our paths have crossed obviously a lot, but one of my favorite stories is that you actually looked at one of my locations on Morse Street.
The ghosty.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that during when you were trying to find a bigger space or was that at the very beginning?
No, this one looked at a bigger space, but then we thought we wanted to buy the space.
Right. And that one wasn't for sale. Yeah.
It could have been for sale.
Yeah. For the right price.
For the right price. But I'm thinking.
You just didn't know that you didn't have a good relationship with the ghost like I did.
It was very weird, ghosty. There was a weird ghosty.
Okay. So this is the side note, sidebar. So 10 years ago, 11 years ago-ish, maybe it was almost 12 at this point, I was looking for a new space and I was so excited. And actually, Lisa Holland Nelson was like, I'll help you. So yeah, I'm going to help you. And so her good friend, Henry Richardson, had bought, we love Henry. And he had bought this space on Morris and Westheimer. And she's like, it's great. It's going to be perfect. So we went and saw it. That's great. And I was sitting and I signed the lease and everything. And I was telling David and another friend, Kara, like, oh, we just signed this place. And they both looked at me and like, wait, what? Where? What place? And I was like, oh, this place on Morrison, Westheimer. It's right across from Southland Hardware. And they both got this like look on their face of like pure terror. And I was like, what are you not telling me?
We both had a lot of Botox.
Yeah. So, but I could see. And so I don't know. So Kara was like, well, I looked at that space to be a salon and I walked upstairs. Well, actually, was yours the choking or was yours the voice? So she's like, I walked upstairs and I felt like this pressure around my throat. And it was like, she goes, I couldn't breathe. And I was like, I've got to get out of here. Like, and she literally ran out the door. Yeah.
So tan, so it's so white. She had no idea.
She had no idea.
Yeah, she thinks it's a ghost.
Yeah, it was a ghost, but it was really David. But then David had gone to see this space, and you tell the story.
No, I was upstairs, and I just felt wrong. Do you know you go to weird places? You're like, and I thought there was someone next to me, and they said, go away. And I'm like, well, that's rude. And I turned around and go,
so.
But it was, and when I went outside, I was like, hell was that? I'm like, I never stepped from that place ever again. So he announces that's when he's moved in.
Yeah, that's where I moved in.
Sure with that?
Yeah, and I was like, great, this is awesome. Fast forward to a couple years later, and I'm at a party for a magazine, and I'm talking to somebody who works at a gallery, and they're like, wait, where is your location? I explained to him. They're like, oh, yeah, that was the old Westheimer Emporium. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, it's just too bad. Yeah, that he died. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, that's so sad. I just saw him. And they're like, what do you mean you just saw him? I was like, oh, he was in town because he had come in town he was living in California and because he had sold the place and he had moved to California and opened something different. And he was in town visiting family and he stopped in to see how the place was. And he was telling me, oh, there used to be a spiral iron staircase in the corner. And he was saying all this stuff. And then like,
it just you he was telling
no. And so it was not just me. I'm not hallucinating. Were you there? It was Holly. Holly was there. And so it was not just me.
3 people spoke to this person.
And we're all talking. And all of a sudden, like we were like checking on something, and he left. And I was like, oh, that's so strange. And we didn't see where his car was or like anything. And we're like, he just must have whatever. And we didn't think anything about it. So we're at this party, and this guy was like, no, he died years ago. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no, he died in like 2007, 8. And I was like, this is like now 2016. I was like, No, I mean, I just saw him in November. This was November of 2015. I'm like, I literally just saw him. I was like, it must be like his brother, something, whatever. Anyway, I Google and I find his obituary. He had died, and everything he told me was in the obituary. He had gone to California. He had opened another antique store. Like all the things he had told me, this guy had done. So I have literally seen a ghost and talked to a ghost in the flesh that scared you and Kara.
And tried to kill Kara.
So there's that. I made peace with him. He liked me, apparently. I'm actually a ghost. And when I left the space, when we left that space, I was like, please treat Henry well. I told him, I was like, please, you've been so good to me. Thank you very much. Please treat Henry well. So I don't know if he's treated Henry well, but like, you should ask. No.
That's a hard no. He left the country.
So that was, I don't know that I ever told him that story, but that is my, yeah, well, it's on this podcast. Okay. So we've done all that. You didn't decide on that location, but now tell us where you are.
We have our own place in Saint Street. We got, it's exactly half an acre.
Yeah.
And we've been there for 6 years.
Because you opened right before COVID.
Yeah. We drained every bank account. When I say drained bank accounts, I'm not underselling it. Like, we drained every bank account because we were paying the rent at the other place, bought half an acre in River Oaks, and had to put a building on top of it.
Yeah.
Because that's cheap, right?
Yeah. Pocket change, really.
We had it, and it just kept going on and on. It was like, it's going to be ready in June. It'll be ready in July. It'll be ready in November. And I'm like, oh my God, like, we're going to, if you see me on the corner of Westheimer and Boston, not a word. I'm going to make some money. So then he opened. And it was like the Monday. It's going to open. It's opening on Monday. I get a phone call. My father's really sick. He's potentially dying. You have to go back to Australia. I'm like, what? So I've gone from trying to set up the salon to getting on the plane, going back to say goodbye to my father, who did end up dying, and then coming back here to see the salon. The day I was leaving to go to see my dad, I went to Starbucks to get a coffee, and I gave him my card. So I spent denied. Fraud, obviously. And I gave him the card, and it's denied. And I was like, okay. So I called the bank, and I thought, holy shit, I have completely spent all of my money on that building. Thank God it turned out. I will say that.
Yeah.
But we're open for 5 weeks, and then we got shut down because of COVID. And we're like,
perfect timing.
And I'm thinking, but I came to peace with it. I thought, you know what? Whatever this universe, God, plan has, this is my journey. I don't know why I'm here, but here I am. But it all turned out okay, thank God.
Yeah.
But it didn't look good there.
No, it was scary for a lot of us, but I was especially worried for you guys because you had invested literally everything to open that space. And it's beautiful.
You can't, if you're a hairdresser and you want to go to a strip mall or whatever it is, there's no parking, there's no security, there's not enough space, you can't expand, you've got no future there. So like you have to own. Yeah, and then we can make it. I want it to be, and Lewis agreed, like a salon in Australia. Open, like a home, like a big open house.
Yeah.
With like different seating areas and just different vibes and different parts of it. And we did all that. And then we had to lock it up. But we, under moments of stress, I think you come up with ideas.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what can we do? What can we do? So I'm going to do videos online, how to do your own hair.
Yeah.
And we're going to get the kits of all the products that I use. And people can call in and they can pay for them. And I will put them in a bag, with my gloves on, with my mask on. And step back inside behind the glass and watch in their car with the mask on, carefully come out and pick it up and leave again.
Yeah.
But we did a lot, but that was enough to help us get through that.
You moved a lot of product.
We moved a lot of
And you taught, I think what was really cool is that you taught people how to do their hair. Like you didn't withhold the information. You're like, I know you're at home. I know you're doing this alone. And you were very good because you were not going, you weren't under the table going to people's houses to do their hair, which some people, people did, but you didn't.
And I would say leaders lead by example. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, we're not doing it.
I've got clients over it too. They're like, why don't you come to my house? And I'm like, because I'll lose my license. And
you were thinking big picture. You're like, this COVID is going to end and I need to be able to have a business. And you could have jeopardized all that if you hadn't. But you taught people, this is how you do it. This is how you're going to get by. This is how you're going to do your Zoom call. This is how, like,
Listen, it's really funny. I was someone, actually, it was yesterday. It was last night. I was showing someone some crazy stuff that I'd done on my Instagram before. And they're like, what the hell's that? It was a picture of me with a long blonde wig on in the shower.
I've had that long went on.
How to wash your hair properly and how to style it for a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
Because you're only doing the front. No, you have crap about the back. Just
Yeah.
The front look good. Waist up. If this look good, you're good.
Yeah.
So it showed people how to do stuff like that. And
Yeah.
that's, it worked. It got us through the hump.
Yeah. And you were, I think that's like the true, like when I talk about people designing a life they love to live, it's really when you're faced with those moments of extreme uncertainty is stepping back and being creative about what the solution could be. Because I think so many times it's easy to be paralyzed in the moment and not think about like, what could I possibly do to make this better? Because it's not what I've been presented with. But you were able to use that creative part of your brain, that entrepreneurial part, and like, how do I pivot in this moment? And I know it's not going to be forever. I think you have to have that. And
But the funny thing was me doing all these hair videos too. And then I was just like bored because I was at home. I wasn't bored. I probably would get killed for saying this, but I loved being shut down for 2 months of COVID because I had my kids every day. We played, we painted, we're hunting for snails. I realized I could actually cook and I started cooking for snails.
yeah,
And then I'd do stuff on Instagram, how to make this, how to make that. And I'd get questions like, what toaster is that in the back? Where did you wear that toaster from? And I'm like,
became an accidental influencer.
yeah. But I didn't really pursue any of it. But I was like, well, I could see.
Well, because you got, when COVID left, like you got like crazy busy again.
Yeah, we went straight. And we're also the first people to have petitions up. We got loose. As soon as COVID was done, I have a friend of mine who lives in China. And she said to me before, this is going to get crazy. This is going to get bad. And I was like, okay. And so I listened to some of the stuff she said. And she was like, you need petitions up to separate people. So I was like, that's a good idea. So we got a plastic person. We still got some of the petitions up in the shampoo bowls.
Yeah.
They're loose sides. You can't. But when you come to think about it, we all look a bit too close together.
Yeah.
Like, so we still have those ones. They're really pretty, but we figured out a way to do it. Thank God, because I'm such a freak, that when we built the salon, I made sure, this is pre-COVID, the seats are at X number of meters apart, feet apart, because you have to be able to maneuver properly around them.
Yeah.
But when the laws came back in for people seating, at a millimeter, I was like, that's the universe. Like, giving you a bit of a high five with that one.
Yeah.
So we were lucky that we could
Continue. You were well prepared.
And we have a big outdoor area that's fern wall, and I've got power put in the back of that. So people came in after COVID and they still felt uncomfortable because the weather was lovely then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was really nice because I think the whole world shut down.
Global warming took a pause.
The weather was lovely. People would sit outside. We got a great big, like,
They did their processing.
get their blow dryers out there. It was nice. So it turned out.
It worked.
It worked.
So since then, life has thrown you a few little curveballs.
Yes.
A little bit. So you have children. They're the same, similar ages to mine. And so, but you found yourself, strangely, after we got back from Paris 3 years ago, I guess, without a marriage.
That is right. So I was married, and then the next day I wasn't.
Yeah. And just to clarify for people who don't know, David was married to his business partner.
Yeah. Yes. And we still are business partners.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which was a little bit traditional.
Non-traditional. That's a lovely way of putting it.
Yeah. It was a little bit rough, but I'm like, okay.
But that was life throwing you another curveball.
Oh, totally did.
Yeah.
Big curveball. But the upside of it is my hair went grey, which I think was better, and I lost my dad bod. So I was like, well, that's too positive. It was not good. It was not great how it happened. We're good now. It was a big
It was a shift.
It was a huge shift. Especially when you don't know you're having it.
Yeah.
But everyone else did.
Right. Yeah, it caught you by surprise.
It caught me by big surprise. But the interesting thing is this. I think, like, the universe and God and whatever it was, sometimes deliberately takes you out of a situation without your consent. Like, I would have never, I was planning our 20-year anniversary. Like, I was like, oh, we're going to do this. And yeah, we were together a long time. So I was in that mindset, and then I was like, oh shit, like I've got to move house. What about my children? What are they going to do? I don't want to separate people. It was that.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
What do you think was the thing, like the one thing that sort of has helped you kind of like reframe your life since then? Because I mean, in so many ways, your personal lives were intertwined, your business lives were intertwined. But what shift or what practice have you done that has sort of allowed you to come to peace? Because I think you really have. Like, I don't think it's been easy, but you have come to peace with it.
It's a choice. Happiness is a choice. It's like you just have to choose to do it. And like for every person you lose, you'll gain another person. And like, it's really weird. My mother, she's pretty mouthy as I am.
Don't know where you got it from.
I don't know where I got it from. You know, when I called her when it all happened, I was like freaking hot mess.
Yeah.
And she stopped me in my tracks and she says, do not be the victim of this. No one likes the victim. Victim says, not cute. Can I be a victim like just for a few hours? No, get it together, blah, blah, blah. Don't be a victim. And she's like, Lily, they're not your person. Now you've got a clear, open space to go find your person. Go find your person. I don't want to hear about it. Like, it's horrible. You're going to get through this. Now, keep in mind, she was married for 64 years.
Yeah.
And my dad died. So
In the middle of all of this.
she never got divorced. So she still asked if she's still married. She says yes, but he's dead.
Yeah.
But they never got divorced. Technically.
Yeah. Well, and I think what's crazy is like, I know it has not been easy and you've had moments where it's been very, very difficult. You also lost your dad during all of
I
this.
did. And my 18-year-old dog.
Yeah.
So in a 2-year period, I lost my dog. I mean, Isa was awesome.
She was
She
awesome.
just went in the backyard and died.
It was just,
I couldn't bear to put her to sleep.
no.
And the vet said the day she stops, I mean, she was blind and deaf and banged into everything, but as soon as
So
her
sweet.
little tail would wag, and I thought, oh, she's still in there. She's still there.
She and Bruno are the dogs that have made me rethink having
And
dogs.
I still have another dog who's also 18 right now.
He's the sweetest.
Brussels Griffons are the best dogs in the world.
Yeah.
But I couldn't bring myself to put her to sleep. And that morning, she came in the kitchen and I patted her and she's with the pantry, hit the fridge, hit that. And I was like, she's great today. And then I was cooking stuff for the kids and she's went in the backyard and died. And I was like, she's been lying there quite some time. And then she was dead. I said, oh God. So that was rough. The kids, and I thought, oh my God, I don't want just my kids to see the dog die. You know, I'm trying to be the parent protecting thing. And they were amazing. I was like trying not to hyperventilate, but they went upstairs and got crayon chalk and they drew a big love heart around her.
No, you've raised lovely kids.
I can't cry. I look like Tori Spelling. I look like those damn golf people.
When we,
Tori Spelling, but like, I don't look.
yeah.
He's a man in his 50s or something.
It's okay. Okay.
So there was a lot of loss,
Yeah.
but it was like a reset. And I was like, okay. And I realized that I realized a couple of things. I'm a terrible judge of character. One.
What does that say about our friendship? I don't know.
Because we were friends before.
Yeah.
And I had all these friends. Like, you know, you have a salon and you're everyone's friend. All these people you think. But then when shit goes sideways, they're just all gone.
Yep.
And you're left with a handful of people.
No,
it's
strange.
two of the biggest supports for me when my life went to shit. You two were just like, I mean, I didn't have to ask for you. You just showed up. That's rare. But it was odd because I kept thinking all these people were my friends. I thought, they're not actually my friends. They're like familiar strangers. So
Yeah. Well, and they people start taking sides.
everyone took side. Well, everyone else had against the horse except me. So everyone picked sides. No one ever asked me what happened. And then I was like so churned up about, do you want to hear what happened? It's like the political campaign, like, and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
But the information you presented with first is what you hear and that becomes your truth. And you own that. And that's okay. And I just had to let go. It was very hard because I'm like Libra and I wanted to be balanced and right.
Well, and you want people to love you.
Yeah, I think, yeah, but I just think I was really badly misrepresented. I thought, you know what? If you're not my people, if at my lowest point in my life,
Let them.
But yeah, I did. I didn't have a choice. They left me. But I was like, yeah, it's like at the lowest point in my life, all the people I thought would be there weren't,
Yeah.
and others were. And I thought, so I had to start relabeling who are my friends, and out of the, let's say, I don't know, you got like 30 people you consider, your close network of friends. I think I ended up with 4, which is good. No, because listen, I'd rather have 4 quality things than 90 shit things.
Yeah.
But the one thing I don't like about myself, there's just one thing.
There's one.
No, it's not here's the one.
Dig deep just to find that one.
My hair's right now. That's right. Is that I'm a Libra, but I'm a Libra. Once I realized that you either were malicious or you came at me unintentionally with force and it was not good, you're dead to me.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's terrible.
Do you have Capricorn in you somewhere? No? That's a very Capricorn thing to discover about yourself.
I didn't know it's like that. And
Yeah.
I became so easy at letting everyone go.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, that's fine. That's okay. Done. Dead to me, dead to me, dead to me. And it isn't with anger.
No, you just.
It's with I had to release them because you can't hold on to something that's strongly and get away from you.
Yeah.
So I was like, bye. And it's hard because I still see all these people now.
Yeah. They still come to the salon.
Yeah, they still come to the salon, and it's awkward because you travel with them and they were your family, and now they're not.
Yeah.
And so,
and sometimes literally your family.
100%. And then that's the other funny thing too. I know if who's ever been divorced here, but it's not just you losing the person you're with. You lose the things you thought you're going to do together. Because remember when we're in France, we'll on the phone and think, maybe we should get a small apartment here. We could all get a couple of families together. Like I had these plans and they're in the window. And then that whole side of the family that you thought were your family, like overnight are no longer your family. And I didn't see that coming.
Yeah. No, you did. I mean, you didn't.
No. And I was like, wow. So it was weird. It was it was a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think you've handled, I know it's not been easy, but I think you've handled it really well.
Like sometimes I think back and thought, I can see why people turn to drug and alcohol because it was like, could have been a much more fun way than when I did it. But I don't know. I just think it's not to do with self-help video, but I think you just had to go through it.
Yeah.
You are not a victim.
No, I couldn't be. My mother was slapping me across the face.
Yeah. No, and you made that choice. I think you chose not to be the victim.
You had to be, and yeah, you couldn't be. And shit happens, and it's okay. Like, we're good. Like, my ex and me, we're good. We take the kids at lunch, breakfast, and we're good. It just all played out. And that's okay. We're not meant to be together, and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just the next tier of people that disintegrated away. Like, one of them in particular, I had in my will. I thought we were like that. And then I realized, oh, we're not. We're not like that at all.
Yeah.
Like, because I thought, this person works so hard and they give to everyone. I'm thinking, I don't know if they're ever going to have anything for themselves because not that I had anything for myself, so I spent on my money. But before I bought the building.
Hashtag Saks.
Yeah. No, but then I had to think to myself, that's when I realized I'm a terrible judge of character. They didn't give a crap about me. I thought they did, but I think because I provided something that I think they needed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You weren't of use to them in a way that they...
I wasn't used to them anymore. And so you just discarded. But that was okay because it's funny. I went on like a dinner date with someone a couple of weeks ago and they said to me, would you change anything about your life? And I was like, how?
Yeah.
Because I like myself better now than I was before.
Yeah.
And it's funny to go from double income, no kids, to single income, 2 kids. It's your whole life is like completely changed. It's
Fighting jointly to single.
Yeah. It's hard.
It was hard. It was weird, but you do it. You just get on with it. You don't have a choice.
It's true. Well, some people have. I mean, I think it is hard. Knowing that there's much more to the story than what we've talked about. Like, it's not an easy choice to make, and I think it's wonderful how you prioritize, especially your children, in all of this because they're what matters.
No, my kids are my priority, period. Like, that's which they'll always be my priority, and they're not everyone's priority, which is interesting when you're in your 50s, you start dating people, you're a gay man with kids, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Mhm."
So I'm like, not to move on past, but like, I mean, I could obviously talk to you for years, but people do want to probably go home or stop listening to this podcast. I mean, I'm sure you don't. You don't have a life. But yeah. So, but just like briefly, like, what has it been like to move on romantically after divorce?
different. It's just different because I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
Like you're
You're not, because you were together a long time. It was not like you had an open relationship and you were like,
we
you know,
were one for 20 years, but it's just weird because if you're with the one person for so long, and it's like, who's this? But you know what I mean?
yeah.
But I like to mess with people.
I've never noticed that. So tell me.
Like hard, like to mess with
No,
people. And I find myself in these weird situations because which is funny. Someone said, go and have dinner with this guy. And I said, fine. And when I was pulling out of my driveway to get to my house, this Uber car almost hit mine. I think, who the fuck is driving that? I mean, literally, like, it was almost like a head on.
Yeah.
And I'm following this person, that asshole, such a terrible driver. And then the person gets in the car and says, oh my God, I think this person having dinner. They weren't the driver, they were the passenger. So anyhow, had dinner. Dinner was fine. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I doing here? I'd rather take a bullet. Like, what's happening right now? Like, I was waiting for a car to smash the door, or someone to scream fire or something just to get me out of the situation. I wanted out.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, no, I shouldn't do this. We're leaving. And I said, listen, I know where you live. I can drop you off. Like, you almost hit me on the way here. I know exactly where you live. He's like, okay. He's like, do you want to come for a drink? I said, no. That's the oldest lane book. And I'm going to go, oh, it's a hard no. So anyhow, gets in the car. And I thought to myself, what am I doing? I got some stranger in my car. I'm scraping 5'8". This one's like probably 6'2". I'm thinking, this is not a great idea. What is happening right now? And then he said to me, you look really nervous, David. You scared I'm a serial killer or something? And I said, well, what are the odds of having two in one car? And as he said that, my car would and locked him in. Like, are you feeling a bit dizzy? It was worth it itself.
And this is why I love you.
So I,
Oh, well, on that note, we're ready for the final round.
oh God.
Okay, so I don't want you.
Rapid shoot.
It's a well, yeah, rapid fire. We're not, nobody. Yeah, sorry. So we're going to do 22 questions. I don't want you to overthink these. Well, no, you can swear. I don't care. You're Australian, by the way. And you'll actually that's
pretty good actually.
You've done really well, but you may not do well when I ask you one of these questions. Anyway, so we're going to go very quickly. You're not going to overthink these things, except for the last one. I'll give you a little leeway. Okay, cool. So, when are you your most yourself? Morning, afternoon, or midnight?
I think of the same all the time.
Okay, you're a Libra.
I don't have a good time or a bad time. I wake up the same mood that I go to bed in.
Cool, you're a Libra. One tiny detail, daily ritual you guard.
Positive affirmations and retin-A.
Your current anthem in one word. Any anthem, like what's the word? What are you optimizing for right now?
Winning the lottery.
A belief you've retired.
God, I believe I've retired. Familiarity doesn't equal loyalty.
Favorite humble tool of your craft. So something under $20. Like, is there something under $20 that is like a go-to you must have? Yeah.
Is it Marvin? I can't even pronounce it right. Is
Which one?
Marvin? Marvin. They did that orange flavor.
Yeah.
Face is delicious.
I can
You eat it, but it tastes good. I leave two of my credit cards next to my bed, but I remember the numbers.
In 5 words, a risk you're glad you took.
Oh, well, yeah. Risk. Hang on. What do you mean, like?
A risk you're glad you took. Moving to Houston. Moving to.
I didn't think I'd have a coffee by myself. I was that person. Now I bring it. I'll do anything now.
Yeah. A place that resets you.
Paris. It's tacky, but I love it there.
No, me too. Comfort, rewatch, or reread. Absolutely fabulous.
I'd say Kath and Kim.
Oh, that's a good one. Kath and Kim. You guys know Kath and Kim?
It's an Australian comedy about these women It's a mother-daughter, and they live in this artificial neighborhood, and they're just ridiculous.
There was a very brief American remake with Molly Shannon and
I can see it right now.
somebody else. It lasted not 2 seconds.
This comedy didn't translate.
It didn't translate, but it's hilarious. A sound you love.
Music.
Sure. Is it Kylie?
Maybe Kylie music.
Yeah. A sound you loathe.
Whining.
A word you overuse.
Fuck.
Say, I told you. A word you wish you used more.
Fuck.
Amen.
Finish this.
Oh, God.
Done is better than a recent no that made room for a bigger yes.
Could it be going on a date with someone?
Yeah.
Realizing that I don't care how much money in the world you got.
Yeah.
There's a big part missing there.
Yeah.
And
That's what she said. Add one person to your imaginary board. Who? Do you have an imaginary board? I do.
Kanye West.
Yes.
Oh, really?
I love me some.
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is where this is where we differ.
but that's
Yeah.
He's a visionary. He's
Yeah.
crazy, but I think the media makes him crazy in
Of
what he
course.
is. But I think, like, Van Gogh cut his ear off. So I mean,
Correct.
like, this is just saying.
You do you.
You
Yeah. How do you take your coffee or tea?
after 11. Sorry, you need to make fast.
Yeah. What this is gonna be a hard one. What do you
She said.
yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. So we have a brief pause. I know this is supposed to be rapid fire. So Dave and I were in Paris. And of course we have to go to Hermes. And of course we don't have an appointment. We just go because that's what we do.
Appointment.
No, you have, but not a leather appointment.
Do you need an appointment?
It turns out you need 2 appointments.
Yeah. So in Hermes, if people don't know, you can have just an appointment to shop, but if you want a bag, you have to have a leather appointment. They're notoriously hard to get and they're very stingy with them. But we went to the main flagship on Rue Saint-Honoré. And we're like, you're just like shopping around. And it like at that appointment, you're supposed to buy like a scarf. Like that's the kind of shopping appointment it is. And we're walking around, and you very nicely had gone to the bag session and asked one of the salespeople who actually, did we even have I don't think we had an appointment at this one.
No, we did. We went there, and I said, David Bamford, 11,
That's okay.
blah, 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 blah. And then she goes, oh, yes, what do you need? And I said, I know, I'd like to see what your men's bags. We didn't have any.
Yeah, literally no bags in the store, right? No bags, absolutely no bags. She was not going to help. So we were,
If it was longer, I totally would have.
yeah. So we're walking around the store. And we're like, well, we're here. We might as well just look around. And so we're walking around, and like, there was a very nice man who was like, I can help you. And we're in the clothing section. And there was a bag that was on the pedestal that said not for sale.
And it was in French. I couldn't read it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, but I was like, David, this looks so good. Like this goes with your, like what you're wearing. And I said, but it's not for sale. And so he like turns to the guy and he's like, I really like this bag.
I had it. I picked it up.
You picked it up. You literally picked it up. And
Do not touch, too.
yeah, in French, but you didn't pay attention. So
What bag do you want? I said, I want this
It
one.
wa- no, he's like, how can I help you? Not even what bag. It was like, and he was like, what? And he was like, well, I like this bag. And apparently it was like some runway sample or something that they were not supposed to sell or whatever Hermes said. And very long story short, we walked out with the bag.
But I said to the people, I said, you don't understand. I've had children. I haven't been to Paris like for 8 years. I'm not leaving with a bad bag. I'm leaving with this one.
Yeah.
And so you can't have the bag. I said, well, someone's going to have it. It's going to be me. I should have done the Lord.
This was pre-Lord Bamford.
Pre-Lord Bamford.
Yeah. That's a whole other story. That's another podcast, people. Just know that David is a Lord. Okay.
The guy reluctantly got more people from the back to hear my hard luck story and why I needed this stupid bag. And then they said, oh, you can have it. And then I was like, how much is it? And then he said to them, if you have asked how much it is, you probably can't afford it. And then we all laughed about it. How much is it? It wasn't a lot. It wasn't as much.
It was like, do you want me to say how much it was?
I can't even remember.
It was $4,500. For an Hermes bag, it was not bad. It was for an Hermes bag, it was not a Birkin or a Kelly, but still, it was a runway sample, not for sale. You got it. And
then they're like,
it's aqua teal color.
It's a really cool color. And then,
Wow.
But then when I said I'll buy it, then he bought out the scarf, and then he bought out a belt. And
Yeah, they upsold you.
Who said next?
Oh, she was in the other part of the store. We moved on from her.
I'm totally saying that I did learn that. If you buy anything from Hermes, do not say you're going to build a relationship with someone and stuff like that. Your sales assistant gets zero money for selling you a Birkin or a Kelly. They get nothing. That's why they don't want to sell it to you, because they're not going to get any.
There's no benefit.
So if you go there and buy hand soaps and towels and this and that, all that, and just have a relationship with them, yeah, and they see that you like in the brand, then they'll be like, well, you can have one.
Wait, can I tell the funny after the prologue to the story?
Don't know if I want to.
Okay, can I tell it? Okay, so we get back home from Paris, and he's come home from Paris with this Hermes bag and the accoutrement, if you will. And he calls me. He's like, David, you'll never guess what happened. I'm like, what? He was like, well, I was walking by Hermes in River Oaks District. I was like, what happened? And he's like, the sales associate called me in, and I was like, okay, I can see where this is going. And he's like, you know that bag you've been wanting for 10 years? I have it. Do you want it? And this was literally just after you found out you were getting a divorce.
No, it was right before.
Right, but literally right before.
No, it was the Monday before I found out I was getting divorced on Friday night.
Right. Okay. So this is Monday of the fateful week. So go in and they have you say what the bag is.
Jeremy, who was the manager there, he wasn't the manager originally. We're just friends, and we're talking about ridiculous stuff. I know the bags are stupid, blah blah blah. A lot of designer stuff, I think now is about the label, but I like the fact that it's all hands on and it's listen.
You really appreciate the craft. Yeah.
I buy these weird bags and no one knows what the hell they are.
Yeah.
Because I like the craft. You know, the Kardashians have ruined Birkins for the world.
Of course.
Well, and the bag you bought in Paris is not what most people think of Hermes. It's just a good bag.
It's just a cool color bag. But anyhow, so I wanted a 40, which is a big matte black Birkin with gold hardware. The 40s are men's, just throw that out.
And they're rare.
Yeah, he said, this is the first one I've had in the store in 8 years. I said, oh my God. I said, I don't know if I should do it. I was thinking. So I called my now ex and I was like, look, there's a little bit of a pickle. I know I spent more than I should, but
Yeah, we've just been in Paris. Yeah.
I said, look, the funny thing is, so I can get it. If we don't like it, I can always sell it. But I've been offered it. So I think I should take this.
Fair.
And they're like, yeah, take it. And so I was like, and so I did. And I carried it twice.
Yeah.
Are you
Like
selling
5 years later.
Are you selling it?
No, I don't know. I don't know why I don't carry it.
It's a good bag.
Are you selling it?
Sharonda's like, yeah, yeah. We'll talk later. I'm going to broker a deal.
I think the only time I really took it, which was just me being a little bit sassy, do you know when you're having a divorce and you have that thing that sit across the table?
Mediation.
I took it to mediation.
Because guess who paid for it? Yeah. Both of you. Okay. If life were a cocktail, what's in it?
Tears? No, I don't know.
Word.
I can't say that one on the podcast.
I think it is.
I know.
And all I will.
I'm saying eat fuck for 500. Hang on. What is that?
So, what's a 5-minute thing somebody in the audience, whether listening or in person, can do to take action to make a life that they love?
Write them for yourself. Do all good. I've got all these positive affirmation things that I say, and when I first started doing it, they felt really corny,
They work.
but they work.
Festive.
Yeah, manifest.
Yeah.
You got to manifest. I got a really good one yesterday.
What is it? Tell me.
Yeah, tough.
It's really long. It's on my phone. Then it's like, you say, I'm David Peck. Today, any great things going to happen to me. I'm manifesting positive, great connections. My day is going to be great. Only good things will come my way. All the negative things from yesterday, I release. I'm welcoming change and prosperity into my life.
I like it. So that's it. That's all you got to do.
And if you wake up and do it in the morning, and I'll do it at night too.
Cool.
As long as the kids aren't in bed with me, because they sleep with me. But like when
That's a whole other story.
that's another story. But like, I thought it was all like, like, well, give yourself a hug or this BS, but it's not. It actually works.
Cool. Thank you, David, for being.
Wait, that fault?
I know. Yeah, you didn't. You did very well. Well, thank you for being inside. We'll have to have you back and we can. Yeah.
It's like,
So Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job.
And there you have it, another episode of Inside the Design Studio in the books. If you enjoyed this exploration of life's design, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, leave us a review. Your thoughts fuel our creative journey. I'm David Peck, your design companion on this adventure. Until next time, keep crafting a life that's as captivating as your favorite masterpiece.